What's up, guys? In this video I'm going to be showing you exactly how I was able to make $1,000 on NQ on Friday. Let's get straight into the details. So basically, as you may know already, I do now trade London session NQ. I believe is just the smoothest price action that I've seen, essentially, as well. But I do also trade New York at times, but this trade in particular was taken in London session. So what I want to do is I want to map out exactly what I look for. I want to show you exactly what I look for even before I enter a trade, or before sort of pre-market in that sense as well, so you can have a better understanding of what I actually look for initially. So of course I do have ICT kill zone, so it does map it out for me. I look for the Asia highs. Often I would mark it out as well and just put it on the chart, but it already is here, so I don't really need to do it. I'll look for the Asia highs, I'll look for the Asia lows as well. So I'll look for a sweep of either or. In the London session, as you can see, from Asia session through London session, the lows were swept. Now, what I saw the lows were swept, but then of course it did come back up and then drop back. So I always like to see what it does around this level as well. Often, a lot of people do take trades once the liquidity sweep has happened, to mainly the upside or even continuation to the downside. But I just thought it would just be best to wait. I mapped out these sort of key areas, as you can see right here, of accumulation in that sense. As well, as people say, London session is the manipulation, and New York is the distribution, but I like the manipulation, so that's why I trade it myself. I can see exactly what they're trying to do, which is a good thing. So like I say, everyone has the different styles of trading. Now, what I saw right here, at around 9 o'clock, 8:56, I saw that price had this particular zone right here. Let me take off ICT kill zones. Like I said, I know, guys, my chart looks crazy and it might be crazy to a lot of people, but it's just about what works for you, man. What I've realized about strategy is all about what works for you. So I saw this to be like a key area of interest where price often taps into, then drops. As you can see, price tapped in here, didn't break it, dropped, tapped in again, didn't break it, dropped. Now I saw now in the same area it wicked above, and what I treat this as is a rejection block in itself. So I treat this wick as a rejection block, kind of Powell's strategy as well. If you know Powell trades, Powell strategy, rejection block, I treat it as that. And I actually look for, personally, I look for another rejection block within the box to be made as well. So ideally, for these type of setups, what I would do is, I've seen a rejection block, I've seen another strong wick be created as well. I would straight away, no hesitation, enter this sort of trade where I have my stops above the previous rejection and then TP down below to for like a 1 to 2. And if I'm being extra greedy, maybe even lower. But I like to look for what I'm looking for. Most I would target is, I like to target lows. So if I'm at the top peak of the market, I want to target the lows. So my RR is totally based on where I believe price is going to go to and then reverse, or where there's sort of a barrier in that sense, in that sense as well. So, say for example, right here, there's like a mini sort of barrier in my head that will goes break even, that sort of thing. So it just depends. Of course, in the moment of trades, it's totally different. So this, let's see how this would have paid out. And like I said, it's just, you just want it to be as smooth as possible. You want to have your confluences. As you can see, you can even look for these type of wicks. But I always think once you have your stop loss set in a safe zone, you'll be comfortable. So this would be the ideal setup for my strategy. But for the trade I'm talking about today, I did not take this trade. I took the next trade, that I'll show you guys. Of course, that hit TP. Um, I'll show you guys the trade I took, because of course I was still like in the middle. Like, that's my ideal strategy. That's what I look for, and I know how to find that. But I was still in the middle, guys. Like I said, you can always still be in the middle at times. I was still in the middle. I was like, okay. I see that's my setup. I might not have taken it, but I will get another chance. So then what I did again was mark out this for a point of interest right here, where price has gone to, or price accumulates at a lot, as you can see by these candles. Mark that out, and I said, okay, I'm still bearish on the day. My mindset is still bearish on the day. I'm looking for a retracement into the zone, and then again, same sort of thing, rejection block created again, strong wick above right here. That was what I used again, just like before. You know, we want to look for what you're looking for, and it's not going to work every single time, but it's going to give you a strong standing. Now, this was more of a rejection block to me than this trade, which is why I didn't take this one. I didn't take this one in itself. Now, this could have been seen as rejection block, but with rejection blocks, I don't like anything to be next to it. I don't want any bar here. As a rejection block, it should stand idle by itself. So I saw that, I was like, okay, now I'm looking for entry. We had the POC as well here, perfect, clearly rejected off the POC volume profile. I was like, okay, cool. So I'm just waiting for a retracement back into the zone, and then an entry as well. So that's what I did right here. Literally, as soon as it tapped back in right here, I entered right here. Basically, 0 DD I had for this trade, and I targeted 1 to 2.5. Now, the reason I had that target as well, because I actually marked out like a higher time frame point of control with this line as well, which you guys will see was a crazy point of reversal as well, which is good. It's always good to mark out points of interest, even from days or weeks behind, because those could be the key areas that you don't see on the smaller time frame, on the 1 minute, etc. That would just change everything. Imagine if I was going for crazy sort of RR all the way down there, I would have been stopped out. So I always stick to my 1 to 2.5, 1 to 3 max RR for every single trade, no matter how much I believe I can make. Now, if I had gotten in at this point right here, then I'll be looking for more RR. So that's when I can drag this down right here as well. I can drag it down to where I would have wanted to be, which is a 3.5. I don't think it's too much of a problem, you know. Me personally, I don't think that's bad. Now, as you can see, I entered in off here, right here, and it just started dumping. And then, of course, it edged me a bit naturally, like every trade. And then full TP hit, and as you can see, reversal like that. Boom. Boom, reversal. Imagine still being in that trade. Imagine. Boom. Full reversal. Now, a lot of people would actually look for a reversal trade on this, but I was just like, man, I already took my win already. You know, when I see myself again, that I'll take it again. But as of now, it's not really an issue, you know. So I just took my win. I left it. So this was the trade I took actually, but this is the type of trade that ideally that I would want to go for personally, like long term for this strategy. But yeah, so I do use volume profile, use ITC kill zones, PO3 as well, smart money concepts, etc. too. Like I said, everyone has the different ways of trading, everyone has the different strategies, but it just totally depends on what you like to see and what allows you to see your strategy day in, day out. Because I think that's what a lot of people struggle with, is not seeing. And I'm the same. I'm not saying it like I'm some master or something. What I'm saying is a lot of people don't see their setup consistently. They're not able to look at their setup and say, yeah, this is my setup, that sort of thing. And until you get to that point where you can say, this is my setup, then you know you're just gonna be stuck for a long time, and you're gonna be over trading, sometimes under trading, not knowing exactly what to do, and you're just gonna be in a rut. And you don't want to be in a rut at all. You want to make sure that you know you're just constantly seeing the setup that you're looking for. Take a stab at it. Just take it. You know, there's sometimes you know you overthink it, and that's where you get the FOMO, when you overthink it and it goes the way you wanted it to go, and you mapped it out, and then now you're trying to force a D minus setup because you know you missed the first setup, which low key in a way is not what I did, because like I said, I look for what I look for, and then I know I can see with the rejection blocks and the retracement back into zones, so I'm able to build confluences around re-entry. So ideally this should have been my only entry in that sense, where it will be a longer term sort of trade from sort of 850, you know, within that sort of range, tap back into this area of interest, low volume as well. And then this should be my long term trade in that sense, which will be more accurate over time. But then, of course, I saw the same happen on a smaller scale over here. So I did size in more, and I took it, and I got full TP. So that's what's important. But like I said, for the strategy long term, this sort of setup is what's going to make this strategy work long term to the highest degree, right here, where you give enough room and then TP's hit. But of course, They are the minor wins that you can quickly scrape to get the winning days and also bank on the day. I appreciate you watching this video. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comment section. As you can see at the bottom of the screen as well, I actually affiliated with Alpha Futures now too. So if you haven't already, make sure you get your Alpha Futures accounts. Use code MULLA, MULLA, to get whatever discount is currently on. It gets you the best discount possible. So get your Alpha Futures accounts, run it up as much as possible, get as many prop firm accounts as possible, and stack that way and look for smaller winning days. Because what I've learned myself as well is when you have one account, which is nothing wrong with it, it's great. But when you have a lot of accounts, like 4 accounts, and you're getting $400 days, that's where it adds up. You have $400 days on five funded accounts. That's 2K in a day, just like that, and you don't have to risk too much. But if you want to get the same 2K day on a 50K account and you're just past your challenge or whatever, you're just gonna be like, okay, I have to. It's basically a 1-to-1 full port to get there a lot of the time, unless you do like your proper risk management. But it takes a level of skill as well. But I'm just saying, to consistently hit certain level of days where you're not risking a lot, but you're still seeing a big return to your bank account, I think having a good amount of accounts will get you where you need to be. But appreciate you watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications as well. I'm looking to be videoing every